Hi, I'm Paola Espitia with Ola'pi Creative. Welcome to Conversations with Paola, a weekly video series exploring what it takes to make change. We share unfiltered, intimate, and inspiring conversations with wave makers in blue spaces around the world.
This is it. This moment is the bit that we can influence. It's dreams and goals are really important, but the bit where we make a change is actually in the moment now. So that really matters to me, being aware of the ripple effect of our actions.
That's the epitome of what the ocean is to me. It's just like my heart and soul, and it's love and it's connection.
It was something that was going to stick with him for quite a while.
I mean, read lots of books. Books will motivate you. Experience things. Experiences will motivate you. Watch interviews like this.
And I have to say, being able to go out and make an impact.
How many people do you interact with every day? You can be a change maker for all of those people.
Now it's time for us to say, okay, everybody's had their chance. Now it's time to say, we're ready. We're going to kick it off, and we're going to start making our beach the most environmentally friendly.
And
we love water! We love you! Thank you!
Hello there, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today on Conversations with Paola. Today, we're coming to you from the dock in Camden, Maine, and I just got off a lobster vessel. We got a chance to meet the crew here on the lobster vessel, and I'd love for you all to get to meet them and hear their stories about the lobster industry and what draws them to water here in Maine.
My name's Rob. I'm originally from New Hampshire, but I come up each season for the tourism here in Maine.
And I'm Liz, and I was born in Rockport, which is the next town over, and I live in Camden year-round. The vessel is the Lively Lady. It's a 40-foot wooden lobster boat, and me and my husband bought the business and the boat, I think 5 years ago now. I'm looking at you like you're my husband, and you're not. And
Only on the water.
Only on the water. And so I've been, working on this boat since then. I worked on it for a couple seasons before we owned it, and then we ended up kind of coming into our hands. And Rob he's been one of our relief captains since the beginning with us.
And I understand Rob has a lot of sailing experience. I have never really spent much time on a sailboat.
Yeah, Rob drives, I'll let him talk, but he drives all the boats in the harbor pretty much.
The pleasure of driving for the different day sailors here without paying any mortgages.
Right. You all are clearly water people, and we did get a chance to talk a little bit about Blue Mind Science and what that is about. And so I see you all beaming with your blue minds. Let me know, what draws you to water? What was your first experience with water, or your favorite memories with water?
I grew up in Waldoboro, which is on the Madomic River, and my dad had a sailboat, and we had a canoe. I don't remember not having water. I don't know if this speaks to that, but I remember when I first started doing these tours, people would comment on the tides, but I didn't really understand why they were commenting on the tides, because it was like, what do you mean the tides? Like, it was normal. I remember being a little kid going and finding crabs under the seaweed. Like, I didn't realize that not everybody had that. So, I always kind of just remember being, I've always lived by the water.
And I understand you have some little kiddos that are also going to be water babies?
Yeah, we have a 5-year-old just turned 5, and a 3-month-old. And our 3-month-old just had his first boat ride, and he seemed to do great. My 5-year-old, she likes being out on the boat with her dad, and she now says she would like to be a ballerina when she grows up. For quite a while, she said she wanted to be a captain on the Lively Lady, which was pretty fun. But
maybe she could.
Apparently now she wants to be a ballerina captain.
A ballerina captain. I'm all for that. That makes sense. And Rob, what's your draw to water?
Well, I actually went to school and became a computer programmer, and I still do that on the side on occasion. But what originally drew me to Camden was some of these big overnight boats that are 100, 125, 200 feet long, and they go out on these adventures for up to a week at a time. And I worked on one of those for a couple seasons, and liked it so much, got my captain's license. Just the wind is going to blow whether we're out there or not. And with these sailboats, we get to harness that wind for free and take people on these wonderful little excursions, whether it's 2 hours or 2 days or 2 weeks.
Yep.
And bring our dinner home with us.
Thank you, sir. Oh my word.
You've grown up on the water, both of you, so I imagine you've seen some changes that have gone on. What kind of changes have you seen?
You know, where our industry, we only have to catch a couple lobsters to show everybody how it's done, but I'm sure that as the there's kind of like this line of where the lobsters, as the water gets warmer, the line is getting more further north. So eventually, if it continues to warm up, there's going to be more lobsters in Canada, not as many in, south. So, I mean, for us, it's not necessarily as much of a threat, but for the commercial lobstermen that are getting money for the amount of lobsters that they get, it's probably a little scary.
For me, it's more simple. I've just seen density, human population density. It's always increasing. So even just where we park our boats is always stretching out a little farther, and that now becomes working terrain. It's not like houses clearing forests necessarily. We don't see that, but that's because it's down underneath the surface of the water.
It's still really neat to be out in the water, get to see the process, and thank you so much for bringing us along on this tour. It was really, really neat. And I have a gift for you both.
Thank you.
It's a blue marble. Hold it up to the light. This is what our blue planet looks like from space. We are 70% water, and what's really fascinating is just as our planet is 70% water, it turns out that our bodies, our brains, our hearts, and our lungs are also about 70% water. So this is a symbol of your blue minds, of my appreciation for what you all are doing, reconnecting people to water and to the waterways. And I love connecting to water people, so thank you all so much. Thanks for your time.